What if the exercise you're doing right now to stay strong, the one your trainer swears by, is silently setting you up for one of the most dangerous medical emergencies a person over 65 can face? I'm Dr. Michael Kent. 22 years as a surgeon, I've operated on more broken hips than I care to count, many of them belonging to people who were active, healthy, and doing exactly what they were told. Today I'm going to tell you what most doctors won't say outside a research journal. We're going to talk about why your body's reserve capacity changes after 60, why a common calcium habit may actually be hurting your heart, and most importantly, the one exercise I'd never allow my own parents to do. Before I name the exercise, you need to understand something I call the biological battery. At 30, your battery is full. Your body absorbs punishment, bad sleep, hard workouts, missed meals, and bounces back. By your mid-60s, that reserve has naturally declined to roughly 60 or 70% of its former capacity. That's not a crisis. 70% is more than enough for a full, active life. Cooking, traveling, hiking, playing with grandchildren. The danger comes when you treat a depleted battery like a full one. A high-impact, repetitive exercise isn't a steady daily draw on your energy. It's like plugging an industrial appliance into a household outlet. If your joints are already running at reduced capacity, that one, healthy, workout can drain the battery to zero. And when it does, surgeons see the result. A planned hip replacement is a controlled procedure, like landing a plane on a clear runway. An emergency hip repair after a fracture is something entirely different. The same operation performed in crisis on a body already under stress. 1 in 4 seniors who suffer a hip fracture will not survive the following year. That statistic doesn't change no matter how active you were before it happened. The movement I want you to reconsider, and that I would personally steer my own parents away from, is this deep, weighted, high-repetition lunges. I know what you've been told. Lunges build leg strength. Lunges improve balance. And if you're 40, that may well be true. After 60, 3 things converge to make this movement genuinely dangerous. First, mechanical wear. The cartilage inside your hip acts like the non-stick coating on a pan, smooth, protective, absorbing shock. With age, that coating thins and becomes less resilient. A deep lunge with added weight places compressive force on a surface that no longer has its full protective layer. You're not building muscle, you're accelerating the wear. Second, nerve signal delay. Your brain sends balance commands down through your spinal cord via nerve fibers wrapped in a protective sheath called myelin. That insulation degrades naturally with age, and faster if you're deficient in certain B vitamins. When the signal arrives late, your body's self-correction mechanism during an unstable movement like a lunge can fail. The very exercise meant to prevent falls can trigger one. Third, dehydration rigidity. Most people over 65 have a diminished sense of thirst, meaning they're chronically mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Dehydrated joint tissue loses its ability to flex and absorb force. It becomes rigid. Rigid tissue under load doesn't bend, it breaks. At this point, many people think, I'll just take more calcium. I call this the calcium trap, and it's one of the most well-intentioned mistakes I see. After 60, the hormonal signaling that directs calcium to bone becomes weaker. Plain calcium supplements, taken without the right co-factors, don't know where to go. Research suggests that unguided calcium can deposit in arterial walls, increasing cardiovascular risk, or in joint tissue, creating calcification that stiffens rather than strengthens. What you actually need is a system, not just a supplement. Vitamin D3 helps your gut absorb calcium from food and supplements. But the missing piece most people don't hear about is vitamin K2, specifically the MK7 form. K2 activates proteins that direct calcium into bone and away from soft tissue. Without it, calcium supplementation can work against you. This isn't fringe science. It's basic biochemistry that rarely makes it into a 10-minute doctor's appointment. So if not lunges, what? The concept I want to introduce is prehabilitation, not waiting until something goes wrong, but actively preparing your body now so that it performs better, longer, and with far less risk. 3 practical shifts to start tomorrow. 1. Replace deep lunges with resistance band work. Bands allow you to target the hip flexors, glutes, and stabilizing muscles without compressing the joint. You get the strength benefit without the grinding. 2. Rehydrate strategically. Before you move in the morning, drink 12 ounces of room temperature water, ideally with a pinch of trace minerals. Your joints are most rigid first thing in the morning, and rehydrating before movement significantly reduces that rigidity. 3. Address nerve nutrition. A fat-soluble form of vitamin B1 called benfotiamine crosses the fatty myelin sheath more effectively than standard B1. And if you've never had your B12 checked, specifically methylcobalamin, the form your body can actually absorb, I'd encourage you to do so. Clinically, I've seen meaningful improvements in leg circulation and sensation when patients correct this deficiency. Managing your health after 60 isn't a battle against your body. It's a matter of understanding what your body actually needs at this stage and giving it that instead of what worked at 40. Your hips have carried you through decades of living. They deserve precision, not punishment. If you're already noticing burning, tingling, or weakness in your legs, don't wait. These aren't signs of normal aging, they're warning signals. Act on them now while your options are still broad. If this was useful, share it with someone you know who's still doing heavy lunges without thinking twice. That conversation could matter more than you know. I'm Dr. Samuel. Take good care of yourself